Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're talking about the best AI-enabled sales tools. I'm going to look at the top 5 applications. Now, I've been in sales and marketing for the last 25 years, and I'm consulting in the AI space currently. So I've evaluated these AI sales tools specifically against my experience and what my clients are looking for today. At the end of the video, I'll tell you which solution gets my top vote. Hi, I'm Steve Murphy. I'm a Vice President and AI Consultant at ARG. And while I work for ARG, this video is my own and does not represent the views or opinions of my employer. This channel is dedicated to helping individuals and small businesses succeed in this new AI economy. Let me start by saying that I'm not compensated and have no interest in the products I mention in this video. I'm not trying to sell you anything, just offering my insight to help people and small businesses compete and thrive using AI solutions. If you don't get good at AI, you'll fall behind your peers or your competitors. AI can be a great field leveler for a business and a huge career growth opportunity for individuals. Now, all I ask in return for the value I hope you'll find in this video is you hitting the thumbs up button, the like for this video, and maybe even subscribing to this channel so you can find your way back in the future. Now back to the content. There's no better place to deploy AI than in the sales organization. Sales is the lifeblood of virtually every company. No, they're not the most important role in the company, though everyone in sales will tell you they are. Every role in the company is vital, but sales is where it all starts. Without sales, there's no need for the rest of the company. So looking to leverage every bit of technology to make sales easier, faster, more valuable, or less costly is an amazing contribution to the entire company. So let's get to the top 5 solutions, and I'll tell you my top pick at the end of the video. Each of my picks does something different. My advice to you at the early stages is to use these individual point solutions in your strategy, rather than trying to throw AI into every facet of your sales operations. By implementing one solution at a time, you can measure the impact and experiment with different program settings at your own pace. This allows you to optimize the scale of the solution before moving to the next. You can accumulate small wins and build momentum. Later, you may want to consolidate your solutions into a larger platform, but you'll know what's impactful and what's just nice to have. These picks are my top 5 sales-enabled AI sales-enabled tools in no particular order. Gong. Now, Gong is one of the oldest, more mature AI-based enabled sales tools in the marketplace. It's a sales enablement and funnel management platform. What are the pros of Gong? Well, it focuses on an extensive library. You can store your best content for easy access, and it's great for high turnover teams to help you train people up on your best content right away and getting them productive. It's fundamentally a call recording and transcription platform. It uses recordings as coaching materials. It's highly searchable, so you can find things using keywords and various filters. And it scores customer interactions for sales intelligence. It also does sales automation with time-saving summaries, next step recommendations, and email creation. So what are the cons or possible concerns? Well, for Gong, it's best for larger teams. The power of the platform is in the accumulated content over time. If your team is small, the benefits will take longer to develop. It's a very sophisticated platform, and you're going to need some help, either an on-staff SME or some professional services. And it's best if you're using one of the popular CRMs for integration. So you can create a lot of valuable content with Gong, but you want to put that content in your CRM so you can access it later. Next is Lavendar AI. Lavendar is an email optimization platform, and what's really great about it, it's super easy to use, very consumer oriented, and integrates into your email platform as long as you're using one of the main ones like Gmail or Outlook. And it provides an email score. So rather than trying to be perfect, it scores your email. And so maybe you'll set a corporate threshold of all the emails that go out need to hit at least a 75. This allows you to allow good not to interfere with being perfect. If you try to be perfect on all your emails, you may never get any emails out. Good might be okay, but you're going to want to set a minimum threshold. One of the nice things, one of the most popular things about it is it provides an email preview as if someone is looking at their email on a cell phone, which many people do. So if your email doesn't look good on a cell phone, you may not get read or consumed. So it gives you an email cell phone preview. And it automatically suggests how you can fix your email to look better on a cell phone. So it also has a lot of templates and tools. It's very mature, a big library for different solutions and various industries. On the con side, well, it's expensive on a per user basis. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, this is sales. Sales is worth the investment, maybe, but you might want to do it for super email intensive folks first and consider a few licenses and then build on that success. It also struggles to be it also struggles with more complex interactions and will constantly recommend that you shorten your email. And that's fine and usually appropriate, but you never know when you're shortening an email if you're taking out valuable content. And some emails, quite honestly, just need to be longer than others. Next is SalesCloser AI. Relatively new application, but this is a virtual sales agent. And what it does is essentially has conversations via the phone or even web meetings with your prospects and customers. It's very functional. It's voice enabled and super slick when you put it through its paces. There are a couple demo opportunities on their website that you can test out for yourself. It's very responsive. I tried to trick it a few times and I was successful at tricking it a few times and confusing it, but it was super tolerant. I had to try really hard to get it confused and essentially have it, go back to its default type of conversation. It's also very tolerant of accents and can be subscribed to in multiple languages. It's super easy to use in terms of delivering good call summaries, and the training is very intuitive on it. What I really like about it is the pricing model. Most of these things are subscription-based. You pay for it by month, whether you're using it or not. SalesCloser AI today has a usage-based model based on the number of minutes that you consume. So it's a super interesting consumption model rather than just a subscription model. And it also does virtual presentations, and they claim that the virtual presentations are dynamic in that it will adjust the presentation to the reaction and feedback of the caller. Haven't been able to test that, but sounds super slick. Now, what are some of the possible cons or negatives? Well, training material. It wants a lot of training material, but you might say, I don't have a lot of training material. Training material is actually easier to develop than you might think. You just need to record some content. You need to describe your business, maybe record some calls with customers. You probably have a lot of PDFs or emails, explain what your company does. Those types of things are ready-made training material for the platform. As I mentioned, it does struggle with more complex interactions. It can get confused, but you really have to try pretty hard to get it confused or to sort of go back to its defaults. And the other thing I don't really like about it is it repeats information a little bit unnaturally, like the person's name or the location or the service that they're looking for. It's not it's quite a smooth flowing conversation as I would like to have at this point in time. Lastly, the setup. I suspect the setup is pretty extensive and you probably will need some assistance, either someone from SalesCloser or maybe they have they have a consulting program that you can go through and get certified and people to help people, set the platform up. But you probably will need assistance in the setup. I think probably ongoing. It's pretty user-friendly though. Next is Humantic AI. Now, this is a behavioral intelligence-enabled sales process. It's a little similar to Gong in terms of managing a lot of the sales elements, but this takes a personality and psychographic approach. It really tries to understand the buyers more deeply on a mental perspective or from a mental perspective, where they're coming from and how they want to buy, and it will help you match your seller personalities to your buyer personalities, which I think is really interesting. Email insights are great. It comes with recommended responses to emails and so forth on how to specifically accommodate the buyer's personality in your responses. And it also provides you with pre-meeting prep. So as you're walking into a meeting, you can say, I want a meeting coaching session that delivered to my inbox 10 minutes before I walk into a meeting. And it will give you some of the highlights and things that it has derived through its AI platform to help you be successful in that meeting, which I thought was really cool. On the con side, it's, I think, more appropriate for a larger organization. You need a lot of data and a lot of prospect leads, from what I can tell. It's a bit more of a black box, meaning a lot of AI platforms, you really don't know how the algorithm is working. So you're a little challenged in explaining how you get the results that you get or the recommendations that you get, maybe to other people in the organization. And it's also very expansive. It tries to encompass many of the sales elements, and maybe it's great at them, maybe not. I haven't found many platforms that are great at trying to do too much. So just keep that in mind as you potentially evaluate them. Last is Exceed AI. Exceed AI is a natural language processing email engagement platform. So what is it good for? It has a very modular design of development platform, so it's very easy for non-technical people to set up and run. It's best, I think, for an organization with a lot of written inbound inquiries or inbound prospect generation tools like white papers, webinars, and things that you're doing online where people have to put an email in, and then you can market to them through your marketing platform. If you don't have a lot of inbound emails and inbound chat sessions, I don't know that Exceed AI is going to be a super productive platform for you. It builds a CRM record throughout the process, which is really nice. So you want to be able to integrate it with your CRM. It summarizes the communications with you and assigns the inbound lead to an in-person rep when it's appropriate. It'll automatically schedule meetings. And one of the last things I wrote down here is it's owned by Genesys. And Genesys is one of the global leaders in the contact center space. And I think this is important because some of these platforms are very new. You don't know whether the organization is going to go through a dramatic change, is going to be in business in 3 years and so forth. Exceed being owned by Genesys is probably here to stay. Now let's take a look at the cons or possible concerns. It's limited to written engagement. You can't escalate to a voice conversation at this point in time, but you can't escalate it to a chat. So it can become a little bit more real time, but not truly a conversation, back and forth conversation. You might consider this a marketing platform rather than a sales platform, depending upon who does your lead nurturing. It really is a lead nurturing platform at its core. And I'm not certain how much additional development's going on within Exceed. What it does very well right now, but it doesn't seem to be adding many features. And it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of new investment going on with Exceed. Could be wrong. That's just my personal opinion. So those are my top 5. Now, as I promised, I have to pick one as my top solution. They all have particular elements that make them stand out, but there is one on this list that in my mind is truly revolutionary, and that's SalesCloser AI. I've done an in-depth video on SalesCloser, so I'll put the link here, and it's also in the notes of this video. If you want to know more, just follow the link. But I think it's truly a revolutionary platform, and it will be the way many sales are transacted going forward in the future. If you're looking to impact sales, one of these solutions should move the needle. And I hope this video gave you some insight as to which solution that might be. Many of these solutions can be implemented in a proof of concept environment so you can test and demonstrate the value before you make a larger investment. Proof of concepts take time and energy, and some might just want to plunge in and set everyone up at once. If you take the plunging in approach, make sure that your training is tight and you're monitoring the impact closely. If your results do not meet your expectation or even have a negative impact, have a backout strategy ready and reassess the rollout. If you've got some value out of this video, please hit the like button. That helps more people see my content. And if you want to come back to this channel in the future, the best way of doing that is by clicking the subscribe button. That will allow you to find your way back here at your convenience. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.